new season at 2K, y'all know I gotta look out for y'all for the best jump shots on the game. So y'all boys can end up shooting lights out off the catch and shoot or even off the dribble, cooking up your defender. Now, it being on a small guard, a big guard, even a lockdown popper, or even my 6'10s to 7'4s, I got something for y'all boys today that end up helping y'all become better shooters and end up shooting those high percentages for y'all can really go crazy out there, no matter what game mode you play. And as I end up giving you the best bases in the game, the best jump shots in the game, and even the best dribble pull-ups, we're gonna start out with the best dribble pull-ups you can use on this game. And with them adding a new dribble pull-up animations of Tyus Jones, which you need to be under 6'5" to even use, will also have a 78 3-pointer or mid-range rating to unlock, and it does have like that Devin Booker feel to his strong hand, like a mixture of a Pro 2 and Devin Booker all together. Now, when it comes to the next dribble pull-up, it's Kyrie Irving. If you're on a small guard, you want to try something different, try Kyrie. You need an 88 shooting rating to unlock it. Now, a dribble pull-up that you can use on any build that's at least under 6'10" or 6'9", all the way and under, you can use Pro dribble pull-up. You don't have to have a certain rating. The same thing for Pro 2, but I recommend you to use Pro 2. Pro 2 is one of my favorites. It has a good fade to the right and left. You don't have to have a rating to even unlock this, and it's a good front fade as well if you want to do front fades. Now, if you want to try something similar to Pro 2, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, but this is more for the bigger guards, which you need to have an 86 mid-range or 3-pointer rating to unlock. Then we got Donovan Mitchell, and I told you the small guards, don't sleep on Donovan Mitchell. Now, if you like to do midi fades and stuff like that, his strong hand midi fade is actually nice, and I definitely recommend you to try it out. Now, if you want to end up getting real glitchy, y'all know about the Devin Booker dribble pull-up, which you need an 86 shooting rating to unlock, which is the same requirement to use Kobe Bryant as well, which you have to be at least 6'5" to between 6'10" to use Kobe Bryant. But for Devin Booker, you can be a small guard to use it, a big guard, a lockdown. But if you don't have the rating, you got to use MJ, since it only requires you to have a 76 shooting rating. So that's the only other option if you can't get Kobe or Devin Booker. But if you want something different, Devin Vassell is a cool one to use. You need an 84 mid-range, but this is more for my big guard, the 6'5s all the way to 6'9s. Then we got Kevin Durant. Now, you got to be at least 6'5" to get Kevin Durant. It's a great dribble pull-up to use, but I prefer to use it on those big tall builds of 6'10" all the way to 7'4" if you got an 87 shooting rating. Then we got Nikola Jokic, one of the ones that's very slept on. A lot of other big builds use them, like the 7-footers, which requires an 84 shooting rating, and you can't unlock that. Then you use Dirk Nowitzki, which only requires a 78 shooting rating to unlock. Now, if you don't like any of those, you still can end up using normal 2, which doesn't require anything. You can use this on any build, no matter if you're a small guard, big guard, even a 7-footer. Now that I just gave you all the best dribble pull-ups you can use in the game, no matter what type of build you're on or even the rating, we're gonna get into the best jump shot bases for small guards, as we have Trey Burke jump shot base. If you like using Allen Iverson, or you want to use like a T-Mac type of base and you don't like AI, use Trey Burke jump shot, which requires an 81 mid-range shot rating. Then we come to Jerry West. If you're someone that doesn't like the Curry jump shot, or you feel like it's too fast, you can use Jerry West. It's a little bit smoother, it's a quick, more up and down flow, and it's got a better motion. If you're not quick on your actual timing or rhythm, try out Jerry West. Then you got Isaiah Thomas, but one of my favorites is Miles McBride. A lot of y'all sleeping on Miles McBride, but I've been seeing some people start using it. Miles McBride is one of those ones if you want to try to be a little bit different, but it is a solid base to use. And if you got a low rating and you want a good base, you can end up using Jacoby Walter, which is a JT Thor jump shot from 2K24 that's on NBA 2K25 and 2K26 that still works to this day. But if you want a jump shot base to get a lot of cool jump shot like landing animations, Damian Lillard is one of those ones you should definitely try out. Now, for my starter fours, y'all all know Patty Mills. Now, a lot of people like, how do I get Patrick Mills? You need to be a starter 4 rep to unlock Patty Mills jump shot, which requires you to have an 81 shooting rating to even unlock that. Now, if you can't get Patty Mills, you can use Quentin Grimes, which you only got to have an 82 shooting rating, but you can use this on a small guard or a big guard, even a lockdown, or even a popper if you want to. Now, a lot of you guys, y'all use that Stephen Curry, which requires you to have a 93 shooting rating. If you don't got that, I definitely recommend you use that Jerry West like I told you. Then we got Allen Iverson, one of my favorites that's not a starter 4 jump shot, which you only need to have an 83 shooting rating to unlock, which is very similar to a T-Mac or Jared Culver base, but for a small guard that's very consistent and it elevates in the air, so it's very hard to contest based on how tall your build is. Then we got Zach LaVine, one of those ones that was very underrated. Not a lot of people are actually messing with the Zach LaVine jump shot. The same thing with John Wall when they added it to the game. If you got a low shooting rating, I definitely recommend you to try John Wall. If you're under like the 86s or the 85s, try it out. Which you can end up trying Kyle Lowry or Russell Westbrook if you got a low shooting rating and you want a cool, simple base that's actually easy to time. The same thing with Russell Westbrook. It's one of those underrated ones that I definitely think a lot of people should try out. Then with Cam Thomas can be a hit or miss based on how you play, but it's a good jump shot to use. And Kemba Walker, one of those ones I found lately that a lot of people don't end up messing with, but it's a good consistent jump shot. Definitely recommend you to try it out. The same thing with AJ Mitchell, which you only gotta have an 82 shooting rating, but it's a good jump shot off the dribble. Then we end up having Jaden Harden, which is very similar to Kyrie Irving base. So if you got a low shooting rating build and you want Kyrie Irving jump shot, the closest you can get is Jaden Harden. And then Bronny James, if you got a low 3-point three-pointer, you're trying to make something happen, Bronny James to get the job done. And then Donovan Mitchell is one of those ones that has an actual fluent jump shot motion, and that is all the best bases you can use for a small guard on NBA 2K. So going through the spreadsheet, you got a lot of variety, but let's get into the jump shots. Now for a jump shot I've been messing around with is Quentin Grimes, DeJounte Murray, Baluba, 50-50 max speed in between push and release. This jump shot is actually nice. Now you can put it all the way in release if you want to, and you only gotta have an 85 shooting rating to use. Now Miles McBride is one of my go-tos, y'all know. Miles McBride, Stephen Curry, Baluba, you can put this under push or you can put it right on push, 35-65 blend, which this jump shot is not too fast or even not too slow. Then we got Stephen Curry. For anybody that wants a good Stephen Curry jump shot and you like to shoot with the button or you want to end up rhythm shooting at the same time, you can end up using Stephen Curry, Baluba, Quentin Grimes, 65-35 blend, 3-4 speed all the way on release, which is very consistent at knockdown shots. Now for my starter fours, we're gonna have Patty Mills, Baluba, Oscar Robertson. This one right here is my go-to actual jump shot when I end up using Patty Mills jump shots. So anybody that's asking what jump shot I use, this is the one I use. But as my secondary, I use Patty Mills, Oscar Robertson, Stephen Curry, 60-40 blend, max speed, and it's set up to the same visual cue that I use, which is very consistent. With this Patty Mills jump shot, I'm able to no dip with it as I set it up like this, but also it's very consistent off the catch and shoot and off the dribble. But if you're a player that's starting out and you don't have a high shooting rating, you got at least a 76, you can get Bronny James jump shot, Stephen Curry, and Baluba 50-50 and max speed, and then a few ticks past push. I'll say about 7 ticks to 8 ticks past push, and it's a very fluent jump shot, especially if you're one of those players that want to grind and try to get your badges and stuff like that. Then we got Jacoby Walter. If you want to go a little bit in between, you got an 80 shooting rating with Devin Booker and Colin Sexton. You could change the releases, but as to the blend, it's a 65-35 blend. Now when it comes to one of my favorite jump shots, I switched it out of using Stephen Curry as a release. I end up using Allen Iverson, Baluba, Colin Sexton, 70-30 blend, and it's going to be at least 5 to 10 ticks past push, and it's a great jump shot to use. Elevation jump shot, y'all just don't know. Having jump shots that got high releases and they elevate off the ground is very good to use because it's very hard to contest on it, or you get low contested when you use those jump shots. Now that I end up giving y'all some of the best jump shots for those small guards, I'm gonna end up looking out for my big guards, my lockdowns, even my poppers as the best bases you can use. And with 2K adding a new jump shot to the season as Kessler Edwards, this jump shot is cool. It's nothing too crazy. We got jump shot bases that's very similar, but actually better than this one. Then we got DeMar DeRozan. Now I told y'all the years about this DeMar DeRozan base, which actually is very consistent as having an 83 shooting rating to unlock. Then we got PJ Tucker, which I end up using this base on bigger builds, like as a 7-footer, 6'10", and like that. But it's also good, especially on the catch and shoot. Now, if you're a starter 4 and you're looking for Kobe Bryant jump shot, you gotta have the 87 shooting rating plus be a starter 4 rep to even unlock. Now, if you want to end up using Jared Culver, you need to have a 76 shooting rating and be a starter 4 rep. The same thing with Tracy McGrady. You need to be a starter 4 and to be a 74 shooting rating to unlock these. Which my 2 favorite starter 4 jump shots is Kobe Bryant and Jared Culver. Now, when it comes to Shaedon Sharpe, one of those ones that's underrated, I definitely recommend you to try this, especially if you want to catch a shoot or off the dribble. It's close to a somewhat Patty Mills, but it's not like Patty Mills. But Quentin Grimes you can use on small guards and big guards, but I definitely recommend you to try this out. But y'all know my #1 jump shot for big builds is going to be that Ray Allen jump shot base. So one of my favorite bases to use on the game, hands down. Then we got Kevin Huerter. Now, if you're more of the catch and shoot, I definitely want you to try out Kevin Huerter. You can throw Oscar Robertson, Baluba as the custom, or Baluba, Oscar Robertson to test it out and see how you like it. Then we got Matt Ryan. The thing about Matt Ryan, you do jump forward. It's somewhat like MPJ base, which is definitely not my forte, but a lot of people like Matt Ryan base, but I definitely prefer jump shots that go up and down versus going forward. But when it comes to SGA, you gotta have an 87 shooting rating. The thing with this one, it's a little bit slower when it comes to shooting off the dribble. I definitely would recommend you to try to create the most space you can with SGA jump shot. LaMarcus Aldridge, I definitely recommend for a catch and shoot. For my AJ Mitchell could be off the dribble, catch and shoot. It's a very solid jump shot base to use. And y'all know how I feel about LeBron James base. Very underrated. LeBron James base has been fired for the last few years. So if you sleeping on LeBron James base, I don't know what to tell you. Then we got Carmelo. Ever since season 1, patch 1, Carmelo's base has always been good. Even till like 2 seasons ago, I used it, and it's still a consistent jump shot that you can use. Put a few nice releases on it. The same thing with Scottie Pippen. You'll be good to go. And all you need is 76 shooting rating to unlock Scottie Pippen. And Scottie Pippen is definitely like a top 5 jump shot base without being a starter 4. Then we got Clyde Drexler, which you have to have a higher shooting rating of 84 to unlock, but it is a very fast jump shot base to use. The same thing with Gordon Hayward. Clyde Drexler and Gordon Hayward are maybe the two fastest jump shot bases I tried. That's not like a meta jump shot, which you don't gotta have a high shooting rating to unlock, but once you make a custom, you do have to have at least around an 88 shooting rating to unlock. But if you're on the lower end and you're trying to find a jump shot, Asar Thompson would be where you at. If you got at least a 73 pointer, you gotta only have a 61 unlock, but to be able to make a decent good jump shot, you need at least a 70 or 71 3-pointer as you use Asar Thompson base. Then we got Devin Booker, which a lot of people are now using, especially for the past few years as of Devin Booker being out. A lot of people are testing out Devin Booker and they're actually liking it because it's very solid. It's a very stable jump shot. You could create off the dribble, you could do catch and shoot. The same thing when it comes off the Jacoby Walter. If you're on a low 3-point rating, a low mid-range rating, use Jacoby Walter, aka JT Thor. Now, if you're someone that's on a build that you really don't know how to shoot like that, try J.R. Smith. I prefer this more with my poppers, bigs, and stuff like that. You could try it on a lockdown, but I prefer you use Derek Whitehead if you might end up doing that, since it's very close to a Kobe Bryant jump shot base, which you only need to have an 80 shooting rating or at least 83 max to make a good jump shot. Now that I end up putting y'all boys on game to some of the best bases you can use for those big guards, lockdowns, and poppers, let's get into the jump shot. Now, it's my recent jump shot I've been using, even on my flow state build, my 6'8". This is Ray Allen, Beluba, Oscar Robertson, 65-35 blend. Very similar to my original jump shot. All I did was end up changing out my releases and I kept my visual cue the same. The only thing that really changed was the actual rating of 92 now. But for my original jump shot, it was Ray Allen, Devin Vassell, Quentin Grimes, and all you needed to have is an 89 shooting rating to unlock this. Now, having a 65-35 blend, this was timable. As of having 21 ticks to pass push, it was green bean. But for anybody that's want to try something different, LeBron James base, do not sleep on LeBron James base. That's one thing I'm gonna tell you, don't sleep. With the releases being Beluba, this jump shot is actually fast. Sometimes you might end up have to put this on release if you feel like it's too fast for you if you shoot with button. Now, when it comes to the next one, we got Jalen Tyson, as they're gonna have Oscar Robertson, Brandon Ingram, 20-80 blend max speed, a few ticks past push. I say about 5 to 6 ticks past push, and this jump shot is actually good. One of my subscribers recommended me to try this out, which is a good catch and shoot jump shot, but it's decent off the dribble. Now we got Scottie Pippen. Y'all know how I feel about Scottie Pippen base, and I've been preaching it to y'all boys for the last 3 years about Scottie Pippen. You can change the releases to Beluba 50-50, or you can end up going Beluba Jeremiah Robinson Earl, which is also good blends to use on max speed. Then we got Shaedon Sharpe. As I told you, as a base that I had to find, this is one of those ones. Shaedon Sharpe, Beluba, Oscar Robertson, or you can end up switching it up if you want to, a 60-40 blend, which is actually a great catch and shoot jump shot, even decent off the dribble. Now we got Jared Culver. For anybody that's a starter 4, you can use Jared Culver, Rudy Gay, Sadiq Bey, or if you don't want to lose Rudy Gay, you can use Beluba. You don't have to use Rudy Gay, which is a 40-60 blend. Then we got Kyle Korver, which a lot of you guys telling me Kyle Korver, use it, try it out. Kyle Korver is a good jump shot base to use. Yes, you get Beluba, Rudy Gay, 50-50 max speed. Then we got Clyde Drexler. This is one of those ones I told you that's very fast. The reason being of it being 3-4 speed and not max speed, but the blends of being 50-50 on Beluba on push. Then we got Quentin Grimes, Beluba, Julian Champagnie, which is a 70-30 blend max speed. You could put this on release if you want to, or I just put right to the R. But another option you can use, the same thing I use for the small guard, is Quentin Grimes, Beluba, Oscar Robertson, 60-40 blend or 65-35 blend. And if you got that low shooting rating at least like 80, you can end up using this J.R. Smith one, especially for someone that's not really good at shooting. You just need something very easy at a time. J.R. Smith, Beluba, 50-50 max speed. Now, since I gave y'all the best jump shots for these big guards and lockdowns and stuff like that, I'm gonna look out for the big builds as my centers to 6'10s. Now, Thomas Robinson is one of those ones one of my subscribers put me on to, as you only need an 81 shooting range to unlock. This base doesn't jump high, but it has a fast release. The same thing with Paul Reed. The base doesn't jump high, but as of him getting his shot off, it's actually fast, and all you need is a 79 to unlock this base. Then we got Zachary Ricochet as one of the #1 draft picks. You have a 78 shooting rating, and this one is very clean. It gives me the same of a Jonathan Isaac without me having to get the load up that a lot of people don't like. Then we got Jared Vanderbilt, which is another one that slept on, and I end up finding you only need a 65 shooting rating. That's an actually clean up and down jump shot, and all you got to do is find some decent releases that you can really go crazy with. Then we got the Dwight Powell. Dwight white power is one of those ones that I literally had in a tuck for a minute, but I just had to test it out for myself before I had to end up giving it to y'all boys, because I knew it was one of those jump shot bases you would end up liking. The same thing with David Robinson. This is one of those ones if you got a low shooting rating. That's the only time I would say use David Robinson if you got a low shooting rating. But if you want something different from Jonathan Isaac or MPJ, use PJ Tucker. Definitely recommend it. Now, if you're a starter forward, you know you can get Chris Bosh base. Chris Bosh base is still a good base to use, which you only need an 84 rating to use, but it's other jump shot bases I would end up using. To me, it feel like Chris Bosh, it's a smooth jump shot, but it just feels a little bit too slow for my timing. Then we got Paulo Banchero, which you need an 80 shooting rating to unlock. Once you find the releases that you like, you'll be Gucci. But to me, for the #1 base to use for a big is going to be Jonathan Isaac, unless you're going to be off the dribble. Now, catch and shoot wise, I would go Jonathan Isaac. The only problem is this timing stability, which a lot of people will understand. If you're tired, you're not going to get a horrible timing stability, and you won't be able to really time the jump shot. But like a jump shot like Kevin Durant, you'll be able to time the jump shot even if you're tired. Like, you will have a way better chance from an F than an A. Now, when it comes to Michael Porter Jr. and PJ, this is one of those ones a lot of people end up using because of the timing stability, the defensive immunity. The only reason I don't like MPJ because he jumps 4. Now, this could be a hit or miss based on the player. Now, next one we got David West, which is going to be LaMarcus Aldridge from the old 2Ks, which you got good timing stability, decent release speed, and all that good stuff. And then we got Jabari Smith Jr., which is a good jump shot base and very solid. Now, let's get y'all the best jump shot bases for those big builds of 6'10" all the way to 7'4". Now, I gotta end up putting y'all boys on to this new sauce to the jump shots. Now, lately, I've been messing around with some bases. As a Vando, this is LaMarcus Aldridge, Charles Bassey, or you can use Baluba. 80-20 blend, and then it's going to be right under push. This jump shot is nice. I'm gonna tell you it's not. The only thing about it is the time stability. If you're someone that's really big on time stability, I'm mostly gonna end up doing this for a catch and shoot. I'm not gonna be really trying to cook up off the dribble with this. I'm gonna end up using it mostly for catch and shoot. But for a jump shot, I'm gonna use off the catch and shoot. And even off the dribble, it's gonna be Zachary Ricochet, Baluba, Charles Bassey. As it's set up very similar to my original Jonathan Isaac custom, but it's gonna end up being a little bit slower. Now for Thomas Bryant, this is gonna be Mike Muscala. Valanciunas has the releases at an 80-20 blend. It's gonna be max speed. Now when it comes to the actual visual cue, this is gonna be based on you. You can change releases if you want to, but as of the ones my subscriber gave me, this jump shot is nice. It's nice, and then the releases are really quick. Now for a jump shot that is my go-to, it's gonna be Jonathan Isaac, Baluba, Charles Bassey, the same one I showed you for the Zachary Ricochet, but this is what it looks like when you got Jonathan Isaac. This is the go-to you seen on Jokic, this you seen on Wemby, or even KD, the money jump shot. The white pile, Bam Adebayo, Mike Muscala. This is gonna be on push, 62-38 blend max speed. This is a cool jump shot to use. Now, if you want to use MPJ, I know it's a lot of MPJ users out there. Baluba KD combo is nice. Max speed, 60-40 blend. Now, as a visual cue, I'm gonna leave that up to you, but you gotta have an 87 shooting rating to even use it. The same thing for the Kevin Durant jump shot base. We got KD, LaMarcus Aldridge during the Whiskey, but I prefer you to end up changing it to max speed than 3/4 speed. Then we got the PJ Tucker custom, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, and a Bam Adebayo max speed, 72-28 blend. On release, you could end up going 3/4 speed. But for all the jump shots I end up giving y'all boys, no matter if you're on the small guard, the big guards, the lockdowns, the poppers, a low shooting rating, a high shooting rating, there was something in today's video that helped you become a better shooter or end up finding the jump shot or release that you was looking for. And with me putting y'all boys on and putting y'all on to the sauce, make sure y'all boys drop a like on the video. That's all you gotta do. It's free. Like the video, subscribe, turn notifications, send this video to one of your friends that can't shoot, but also make sure you check out the 2 videos on the screen.